Okay, so I mentioned we'll go through the 75 digital asset categorizations so that you can then choose from a diversified, shortlisted 75 categories of larger digital assets that exist out there. Okay, as per your niche, as per your choice, and as per your aspiration to for the goals that you're trying to reach. Okay, but however, remember that there are four main categories, right? The online courses can be throughout all your categories. Ebooks, PDFs, and published books are going to be throughout your category. The software and web-based applications again can be used for anything and everything, right? If you have the right technology prowess to do that. And then there is affiliate network marketing, right? This could be an aggregator approach that we've been discussing earlier, right? But please remember, to create something, you would find value in yourself first. Okay, so whatever you create, you should find value in that first yourself, and choose and you know this should be the most important thing once you do that, because once you find the importance in that and you find value in that, that is what will automatically show when you're propagating it to the others, right? And that is infectious. People will take that as the passion for themselves. If they also love what you've created, the digital asset that you have, start consuming it, and they will take it to the others in the process. So that then creates a chain link that you want to. So with that said, large main categories of assets are these, and they are used through either a platform, which could be providing you certain services in terms of automation, right? We discussed some of the sales ones, the CRM ones that we'll be using for platform and integrating it through various sources. And we talked about video, we talked about audio and music. Photography is a general skill that typically requires photographs, which doesn't require introduction, of course. With graphics and digital art, there are specific platforms that can be used from at very minimal cost or no cost, and can be imbibed into whatever you're creating. Okay, so as in form of digital asset, of course. Now, let me quickly jump to the 75 assets that I'm talking about, right? So that you can see a category falling in for you at the right place, and you can choose one of those as a diversification mode of whatever you already chosen for the first quarter. Okay, these are for the subsequent quarters, mind you. Remember our previous discussion? You said you would have finalized one digital asset that you're going with in your niche. Now these are to help you think a more different, in a very different format, to find other categories that will be useful, part and parcel, or can complement or supplement your already chosen digital asset. You might also choose one of them can become your main asset, right? So here's what it is. Let me know. Yeah, you can see it now, I guess. So the way this has been, described through, if you can see the screen, right? There are now these have been classified, right? These 75 categories are classified against each function, if you will, right? For example, if you're a blogger, right? You might, and you're a rapid blogger, you might be able to create membership sites, your planners and journals, your podcasts, or your downloadable guides and self-assessment tools as a blogger, or point them towards a website which they can download and start using these from, right? For which you might charge some subscription fee. You might want to put a one-time fee for the lifetime access as a subscription, and so on and so forth. So there are various modes and means to doing this, right? So please go through this in detail if you're a blogger and you would like to see that. If you're a freelancer for something, right? Then again, there are freelancer guides, there are e-learning courses, there are online communities that you can create. You can write a book on this, you can write a PDF on this, you can ebooks on this, right? Again, have a subscription model if you can automate certain functions of your freelancing activities, and go about creating an app out of that. Okay. You can join with other freelancers to provide a service which is aggregated and integrated through. Right. Same goes for your wellness coaches, right? Where you can provide newsletters, you can provide audio, right? Both for mind, body, soul, if you will, video courses of how you do certain physical exercises, or how you do meditation in a particular way, or help them work with them to do the meditation. create again books, online communities, journals, whatever, to help them pass on your message as a digital asset which they can start using. Okay, then you can, for designers, wallpapers, emoji. This probably could be another extensive list again, right? Photoshop, you can create your own images. In fact, this is one of our horizontal topics coming into RISE2, where we teach how this can go into NFTs, and those could be specialized courses, by the way, right? And how this has a long-term affair once NFTs really take the mainstream. How your pixelated or designer graphic that you use can be of help, right? So similarly, so business card, so various templates, right? Anything to do with creativity, invitation, business, presentations, printouts, or the works, right? Or animation, or gaming, or website creation, etc. Any design elements, house designing, whatever. So it's very applicable, and all the four main categories also can fall into this for producing an asset. Same for IT specialists, right? They can go wild once they know what niche they want to encompass and go about creating that application for the relevant audience. Same goes for business and startups, right? Again, business growth oriented niche, if you remember. This can go all over the place. Products for writers, for artists, for beauticians, for childcare, for foodies, musicians. So again, trainers and photographers and videographers and so on and so forth. So this list goes on and on. Okay, some of them could be a repetition, but the subcategories could be different. Okay, and if you see the main categories that we discussed, if this is one of the choice, they can all be imbibed with those main categories which you choose to make out of, right? But imbibing those in as your niche and your micro niche is what is the essential need. And just to give you some kind of motivation and some ideation as to what you can use for doing these things, right? So with that said, let's go back to the categories, and we will, as a continuation of RISE2, we will take you how to create your own courses with very regulated steps as been discussed up to now, right? With specific framework to get an outcome in that particular time frame, right? The glimpses of which you saw in the previous, the horizontal rates and the others. So same for ebooks and PDFs and also published books. There will be a detailed one as part of the RISE2, where you can, at the end of the day, kind of create a practical online course, a practical book for being released and so on and so forth, which will complete an exercise in itself for you after you've done your business planning, right? And select remediation and the other factors. A software application, web-based application is a very vast topic. It's part of our horizontal activity, and we'll come to specialization because we'll pick up only a few, because this topic, has not only the application programming kind of operating system, but also has the programming languages, and the languages have different nomenclatures for understanding, and the expert, again, novice to a pro to a master, and so forth. So this requires a different horizontal approach. We won't be completing in the RISE2, but if there is something that people are looking forward to, they will be, besides some of them we have already decided for, there would be others that might come to play, but as a horizontal, right, as the RISE2, in the RISE2 number. Affiliate network will kind of encompass a little bit of this, okay? And this will come largely for the aggregators who want to think and start working in that direction. But these could be complementing to your online and books and web application activities that come into play. Okay, so this again could be one of those horizontals that works across, or other diagonal, if you will. Okay, so and for doing any of these, right, you require the right kind of platform that you should know, which provides you the tools to do these things, right? So some of them have been mentioned in the previous times, and we continue to mention as soon as we get into the courses and the books and the others. Similarly, you're required to do a lot of video activities. Again, there are applications discussed earlier that could be platforms that can be used on a subscription basis for doing these things. Then there are again audio and music related ones. There's some freebies to be downloaded and something can be used as part of applications to develop these assets. Same for photography. Photography is a general item, right? Everybody does that. So these might not require special mention, but graphics and digital art they require some specific kind of again platforms and websites and downloadable elements which can be used in the most constructive fashion for creating these things. So that could be these are going to get touched upon, right? So with this side, this side you will have 75 categories to choose from. Finalize your roadmap for the year, right? You have a 3-year plan. You have a digital asset for one category that is chosen, right? You can choose to choose at least others, right? And once we go deeper, you will be asked to choose specific number at least as a challenge over a period of time, and then your final business plan should be tweaked before we get into practical outcome of those online courses and the ebooks that we're talking about, right? As your digital assets, which then you start selling as a blitzscaling activity. So bringing all this together, right? We discussed about the design principles. You heard the 3 videos. You understand what success is. You understand what goes into a digital product. The way to go in discrete steps to make one, right? What sort of thought process comes into play? What sort of each step consists of in making those, and what you should be doing first and the last, and so on and so forth. And the larger philosophy of keeping it, simple, as super simple, which should be beautiful, exquisite, and should be pertinent to the audience that relating it to. The 7 P's, which bring out the larger persona for the customers that you're targeting to. And the product that you design, you might choose to redesign from an innovative, in an innovation perspective, where they exist out there, but you feel certain elements missing and it would be much better this way. So you redesign a product which exists, or you keep a radically new design which is completely disruptive, not existing in your niche, and that you start propagating in a fashion. Okay, in best of the digital asset categories that you can. And quality, please remember, is quality is what the customer wants, not necessarily what you think it is. Okay, so in whatever shape, format, it's a quality. It could be the bestest according or much of beyond you what you think, or it could be much undervalued the way you think it is. Okay, but value in terms of getting paid for, we discussed that. It's a give and take relationship, and you should expect less because you're over delivering. Okay, but in terms of your overview, that means your emotions and your other factors, you should always give maximum to receive more, right? With that said, this is a challenge for you. Okay, when you join the next day, that is day 3, please have this completed. Go through those 75 categories, go through details of each of those, pick up the relevant ones. I need you to pick up at least 3, right? If you have 1 already, pick 2. Then put it as part of your yearly plan so that you tweak your business plan accordingly in the process of doing it, the way you've done the first one. And come prepared for the next the day 3, because there we go practical. Right? Practical would mean you will know exact steps to make your the published book, your ebook, or your your courses, right? The course that you want to develop for this. How and exact steps of doing that, right? Let's jump there as your next category. I'll see you there on day 3. Bye.